So hey besties, let's go cook this seafood dinner. So tonight we're having us a little seafood dinner, and first we're going to start off by boiling our corn. So I went on ahead, got my corn and shucked it and tried to get as much as the husk off as I could. Added in some butter and some milk. Y'all comment down below and let me know if you cook your corn with milk. I was told that if you cook your corn with milk, it will make your corn come out a whole lot sweeter. So we're going to put that theory to the test today and see how it come out. After we got our corn started, we went on ahead, put that to the back of the stove, and now it was time to work on these crab legs. So we're going to get our crab legs, we're going to get them off in the sink, and I'm just going to rinse them off with some cool water just to remove anything that might be on the crab legs, big ice chunks, and all of that I do not want on there. After I get them all rinsed off with some cool water, I'm going to go ahead and add them in the pan. When I get them in the pan, then we're going to go ahead and start seasoning them. Now for my kids, because they like things a little bit on the more simpler side, we're just going to go ahead and start off with some Old Bay seasoning, and we're going to use that garlic and herb Old Bay. When I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Don't walk, but run to your local store and pick you up some of this because it is so good. We're going to add just a little bit of that garlic and herb Old Bay seasoning on there, and then we're going to go ahead and add some unsalted butter on there, and that is going to be it for them. They don't like anything too fancy, too much, so we're going to just do that, put some foil on top of it, and we can go ahead and put it in the oven to start baking. Now while we are preparing our crab legs, you want to make sure that you got your oven on 350 and we are preheating our oven, so by the time we are done with the preparations, we can go ahead and just put it right into the oven. Now I did go ahead and add a little bit of fresh garlic on top of theirs, not too much because I didn't know how they were going to like it, but to me garlic and seafood goes perfectly together. So we went on ahead and just put a little bit on there, not too much, put some foil on there, and we're gonna put it up. Now for me and my husband's pan, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to spice it up. So first we're going to go ahead, get our crab legs inside the pan, and we're going to hit it with some of that Tony's Creole seasoning. And you know what they say, if you ain't seasoned, it ain't seasoned, baby. After that, we're going to go ahead and add in some of that garlic and herb Old Bay because I already told you it's a 10 out of 10. Can't have crab legs without it. If you don't have some, make sure you go and get some because you are missing out. Then we're going to go ahead and go in with that Pretty Girls No Flavor All-Purpose Cajun Hot Blend. I'm telling you, that's another one, a 10 out of 10. If you don't have some, you got to go ahead and check out the website so you can get you some. I'll leave the link in the comment section below so you guys can check it out. So we're going to go ahead and get our spoon. So all orders do come with a spoon, so you can go ahead and measure out your seasoning. And we're going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon and a half of that Cajun seasoning. Once we get our Cajun seasoning on there, we're going to go ahead and add us some unsalted butter, and you're going to put a lot of unsalted butter all over your crab legs before we go ahead and stick it in the oven. I prefer to use that Land O'Lake or that Kerry's Gold unsalted butter. When I'm telling you it's a 10 out of 10, I am telling you this meal is going to be chef's kiss after you are done. So we're going to go ahead, put some foil on top of it, and we're going to get that in the oven to bake. After we get our pans of crab legs in the oven, we're going to go ahead and melt some butter. Once we get our butter melted, we're going to add in some onions. And once we add in some onions, we're going to go ahead and add in some fresh garlic as well. And I added in a lot of garlic because I love garlic. So I'm always going to add in extra garlic, extra onions. And we're just going to sit here and let this cook until they soften up. Once they soften up, they should look something like this. And then we're going to go on ahead and start adding in our heavy cream. So I use non-dairy heavy cream, so it's going to look a little thick at first, and once it warms up and comes to a warmer temperature, it will start to thin out and look like regular heavy cream. Once we get our heavy cream in there, we're going to go ahead, give that a good mix, let that warm up so it can thin out, and as you can see, as it starts to get warmer, it starts to get looser. Once it comes to temperature, it should look something like this, and then we are going to go ahead and start adding in our cheese. We're going to add in a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and this is how we are going to make our creamy sauce. And we're going to use some fresh Parmesan cheese, and then once we get that Parmesan cheese in there, and then you're going to let that cheese melt inside of your sauce, and you're just going to give it a few minutes while you're going to continue to stir. Once your cheese has been completely melted and you get the desired thickness of your sauce that you like, I'm going to go ahead and add in some Pretty Girls No Flavor Cajun seasoning. I'm going to give that a good mix, let that all combine together. And once my sauce is combined, we're going to go ahead to the oven, check on our crab legs and see if our crab legs are ready. And they were ready, so we went on ahead, pulled those out, added some eggs to the plate. I added a little bit of mashed potatoes and that corn, and now it's time to pour that sauce on top. Once we got that sauce on there, my kitchen was smelling so good. When I tell you this was so good, you guys have got to try this. Sprinkle a little parsley on top just for a little bit of razzle dazzle. And then it was time to call that man and them kids because dinner was served, y'all. We have us a garlic parmesan creamy crab baked, and I guarantee you guys have never had crab legs like this before. So you go ahead and make sure you try this recipe out. And I started cracking those crab legs open, putting that crab meat on top of the eggs, dipping it in the sauce. It was so good. And as always, if you are loving these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you leave me a like, a comment in the comment section, or share this out for me, guys. Bye, guys.